11-4 run here, picking 5 NFL sides a week. We're doing it again. We're running it back. It's Let's Make Millions Roadshow edition. That's right, baby. Dan Alexander here, and joined by my man who's a G2E right now. That is the one and only Adam Rosenberg, who is muting his mic on and off because there's a Three Doors Down cover band playing beneath him.
The bass drum going boop, 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 boop.
In true Vegas fashion. I'm in Jersey City. I have a wedding I'm going to today. You're rubbing elbows with some of the best in the industry.
Now it's just me. I'm the worst of the industry, so I'm just right here.
Now it's just you firing in Giants money line bets up at the SuperBook counter, and they're like, "Why are you wearing an Eagles hat hammering this?" Just trust me. If you watched this show, there were 2 guys who said Philadelphia Eagles will be losing back-to-back weeks, and that's exactly what happened. So Eagles homers, who I guess weren't quite homers here, Berg. Yes, we know there's going to be Wi-Fi issues throughout the show. I'm literally on my phone doing this. Berg is literally doing it in his hotel room. So I will say, Berg, good thing for them, because one of our adoring fan mails said this could easily be a 15-minute video when we had a near 40-minute show. Well, be happy, Chris Oz 19, because this will be a shorter show because we have no effing. This will be we have no effing clue when our Wi-Fi will completely shit out on us. So Berg,
man, you changed everything. I have like housekeeping trying to come into my room. We have everything. Like, we did everything for this guy. Honestly, I like our bit of every week we pull out a comment of somebody who wants to like big dog us, and we big dog them, and then they usually say what that other guy said, which was, "Oh, dude, I'm humbled. Let's all be friends." And
I called Chris Oz a dingleberry in the comments, and Chris Oz, I apologize for that. That was out of character, and that's on me. All right, so before housekeeping breaks down Berg's door there in Vegas, let's go through our 5 picks this week. We like a lot of underdogs. Berg, if you do have to run and let them in, you can do so.
No. I'm checking out and going to Circa after this, so this is it.
Oh wow, that's a great spot, man. The Mecca. All right, we like a lot of dogs this week. I'm gonna caution people because the favorite week is coming. The week where all of the public eating and cashing in on favorites is coming. Is it this week? Shit, I hope not, because we love some underdogs. Berg, let's start it off here as we're looking at a pick'em price. So no underdog to be had here, truly, as we got the Seahawks taking on the Jags. Jags with the Liam Cohen signature win. Seattle coming off another brutal last-minute loss. You could argue Seattle's a couple bounces of the ball their way from being one of the better recorded teams in the NFL, and Jacksonville off of, you could argue, one of the biggest wins of Trevor Lawrence's career last week. Berg, I'll let you bat leadoff on this. I have some sexy Mark Lawrence stats that the people love, our ATS trends that we bring on here. We are on Seattle. This is a team that we keep going to the well with. We've taken points. We've laid points. We've won with them. We've lost with them. We think they beat Jacksonville off a huge win. Why is that?
Sam Darnold is the top-rated QB in all of football, just by EPA and by every deep nerd metric. Look, you said it. The Seahawks were 2 plays away from actually being undefeated right now, and I'm not going to take a lot away from the Jags because I do like the Jags. But if you're doing a contest that's going to be about picking ATS lines and looking for value, the week after the national story for football is that the Jags had their biggest franchise win, and a Seahawks team got beaten in their last play. I'm not going to be doing these kind of things. So look, I love the Seahawks this week. I think that this team is. I think this team has a really good defense. I think this team also plays a lot better away from home. And so like, I know we got it at a pick 'em, so it's effectively like, we don't have any points with this one. We like them outright. Again, they have been better at home. Their 2 losses are at home. So let's take Sam Darnold. Shout out to the QB whisperer, KOC, who seems to have fixed Carson Wentz as well. And let's fly, Seahawks fly. on this one.
How crazy is it that the Eagles will be playing Carson Wentz likely next week? Absolute insanity there. Speaking of teams coming off Thursday Night Football, we got a little extra rest for Seattle, and that's a role that they play well, especially when they're facing teams who are coming off short rest. You got Seattle is 4-1 against the spread. Opponents coming off Monday Night Football. Kind of makes sense there. A little bit of less time to prepare, and a team who is coming in, to quote my man Marco D'Angelo, maybe a little fat and sassy off that big win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, strutting their stuff a little bit. How about this one, Berg? Jacksonville, 4-15 straight up, 2-17 against the NFC West. It has been a team that they just cannot crack the code on. No matter who is the head coach, who is the quarterback. NFC West has been struggle for them. How about the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars are 0-11 against the spread when their opponent is coming off a loss? Seattle's pissed off. Jacksonville fat and sassy. I'd be comfortable laying up to 3 with Seattle for you alt line folks. Seattle gets the job done in Jacksonville. Berg, I don't have as much on this next one. It's just kind of the Panthers aren't as bad as they seem. And the metrics kind of tell that. The way that Bryce Young played at the end of the game last week kind of showed that as well. We're taking 3 points, and I'm sure that people who watch this show, you guys fade Dallas every week. There's going to be a comment, how'd it work out for you last week? Horrible read for us. Awful read last week. And, you know, it happens. We were on the Jets, and we just were on the wrong side there. You're going to cap games, and you just end up on the wrong side.
We like them this week, but not a serious franchise.
Exactly. It's a great spot for them against the Broncos, but we swarm off a little bit. We're taking 3, Carolina against Dallas. When Panthers have had their rare wins, you know, it hasn't happened very often these last few years and in the Bryce Young era, but when they're coming off a win, 12-6 against the number as a dog, when they're coming off an outright win as a dog. Back-to-back weeks, bet on spots here for Carolina. They're 5-1, a little subset of that trend if the line is 3 or lower. So we like the dog here, Carolina +3. You got anything else here of why we are fading the Dallas Cowboys?
Dallas Cowboys have a terrible defense. As well as Dak Prescott is playing, which, look, we'll hate, but we're also pragmatic. Like, Dak Prescott, when he plays, is really good. He hasn't thrown any turnovers. He's been pretty fantastic. He's also been dealing with a lot of NPCs. But this team has been able to move the ball, but their defense is awful. I really like Carolina here. They just noticeably play better at home. Team signs up for 60 minutes, which is which is a cultural thing. That is, that team could have kind of quit the last couple of weeks, and they didn't. They're also probably going to get Jalen Coker back. I really like the skill positions on the Panthers, because I think that they work really well with the limitations that Bryce Young has. Bryce Young isn't going to be able to throw the ball 40 yards down the field, but he's got someone like Jalen Coker who's going to be working in the slot, which is where Dallas gets eaten. I love Jalen Coker over 2.5 receptions. I think that is a obnoxiously low line. And Ted McMillan should be in the conversation for offensive rookie of the year. That dude's a beast, and he has a body. And then I think without having to worry about even to run the ball, because Chuba Hubbard's not there, technically, you got a Rico Dowdle revenge game. If anyone cares about him, I don't, but he's off a big game.
He looked damn good last week.
He was damn good last week. This is the exact type of team that I want to buy on against the team that we know is always going to be a little bit more public in the Dallas Cowboys. So Panthers with a great number, with skill position players I believe in, against Dallas off of a big fat win against a really like Breece Hall and a bunch of NPCs. And Garrett Wilson. We'll give Garrett Wilson his due. Just give me the Panthers again. Panthers worked out for us last week. This is gonna be similar to another play we'll talk about, but it's one of these teams that we're probably gonna keep riding until we're told not to.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. And I would be a little bit more lukewarm on this one if it was 2.5, but 3. Love getting that field goal. Could see it being a field goal game. Now, pushes are a loss in the contest, but I don't know. I think you have a barking dog here. Also worth mentioning, you got Dallas Cowboys on their 2nd straight road game if you're into those type of situational spots. So taking the 3 with Carolina, and we'll keep that trend. Is there an echo in here? We're taking the 3, and this time it's going to be with a road team, and a team that, Berg, if there's a team that we have capped terrifically this year, I think it would be hard-pressed outside of probably the Detroit Lions 49ers. We just had a great read on them. A team that we have continued to maybe get our ass bit, so we're putting it on the line, is Tampa Bay. San Francisco is getting 3 points on the road at Tampa Bay. I have a good amount of stuff on this one because this is one of my favorite plays, one that I have bet myself already, like San Francisco on the money line. Another last-minute win last week for Tampa Bay. All 4 of their wins have come in the last minute, most in NFL history since the 1970 merger. So this is a team that, the Breaking Bad meme, they can't keep getting away with this, but they do keep getting away with this. I think it might not happen against a head coach of the year candidate that you're seeing here in Shanahan. Everybody keeps getting injured. Everybody keeps going down. Berg and I got a call to be wide receivers for this team last week, and we had to turn it down because we had to do a show for the folks, but they just keep chugging along. The fact that Mac Jones came in, we talked about it when he was the backup quarterback. We were saying, Shanahan wanted Mac Jones out of the draft, and now he has this guy, and he's 3-0 with him. They haven't lost a game with Mac Jones. Yes, he's banged up. Yes, he saw a dead body last week, and even that wasn't enough to shake Mac Jones into not.
Dead body was not Purdy, by the way.
I think you might have been right there. And guess what? For all these comebacks, Baker Mayfield deserves a hell of a lot of credit. However, Baker Mayfield's still in his career, things start to catch up. 9-15 against the number in his career, coming off an outright underdog win. That subset goes to 2-11 against the spread when they're playing a team who is coming off of a win. So if it's underdogs that they keep beating up on, teams that are maybe struggling, Baker Mayfield can keep rolling. 2-11 against the spread in his career when playing teams coming off a win and coming off an outright underdog win. I think that makes a little bit of sense there. And extra rest that they're getting with that quasi bye, it actually hasn't worked out great for Todd Bowles. Maybe he has a little bit too much time to think about things. 1-5 against the spread coming off of a Thursday night contest. That's what you've been seeing for the Bucs in recent history. And now the piece de resistance, Berg, I'll save for after why you think we should be taking 3 points with San Francisco. And then I got a hell of a sexy stat. I love we're getting a field goal here. What do you have to add on this one, Bergie?
Well, as a quick reminder, not to put you on it, but someone in our comments will note they did not play on Thursday. They played on Saturday, but they did do so.
Oh, you're right.
But
Sunday. Yeah.
Everyone knows he was testing us, and we passed. All right.
Gosh damn it.
So, look, here's I'm a noted Niners hater. You are a noted Niners hater, but this team is really, really undervalued given what their preseason projections were versus what their coaching is. I actually think sneaky Mikel Owens is probably worth putting off for DPOY, for rookie DPOY, because I think he's going to start to step up a lot with the absence of Bosa. The Niners, though, off of extended rest, I guarantee are in a good spot. And Baker and the Bucs, while I like their ceiling overall, they are such a high variance form of football because they don't get stops. So it's always up to them of, well, I'm going to have to gunsling everything. And the Niners aren't going to play that. They're not going to let them play that way. That's the exact game plan that they used against the Rams on the Thursday. And it's part of why they beat them. I actually think doing a sprinkle on first drive TD with Mac Jones against this, it's probably going to be, imagine it's going to be like 2-1 plus 180, something like that. It's a lot of fun. It's actually real quick, but first drive scripted scores have been crushing across the league for everybody. So that being said, with this Niners team, I'm just not going to fade them on this spot. They're also getting a benefit of having a 4:00 start on this one. It's not a 1:00 start for them, flying east. So this is a lot of things that are going to benefit this team. I like the Niners to beat this Tampa Bay team that not only, as you said, have they won in the last minute, they've won on the last play of all of those games. That is variance within variance. Fun term that people in betting use. So Niners and Mac Jones and the ghost of Brock Purdy. I think they might get at least one wide receiver back, but yeah, I really like this play a lot.
Yeah, and this is what happens when you're doing a show out of a hotel room because I just read it wrong. It was obviously San Francisco who got that nice win on Thursday Night Football against the Rams. That was the shocker. And the subset is actually Todd Bowles and teams coming off a team who played a Thursday contest. So it wasn't them coming off the Thursday contest.
Like I said, you were testing us and we passed.
Yes. Well, you passed. I failed with flying colors. 1-5 against the spread when facing teams coming off of a Thursday contest. We love to keep honest here. Comment below. Newbie is an idiot. Drop that comment in the comments below, and you can be in the mailbag for next week. I'll agree with you. Bad flub on my part. Take the 3 with the San Francisco 49ers. This guy doesn't even know when the teams play. Why would I follow his games? Why would I follow his picks? Well, I guess we'll find out.
East Coast game. I mean, like seriously, that I wanted to say it again though. You have a West Coast team flying east, and the biggest thing is always when they have these early starts.
Yeah.
Because like Seahawks are obviously they have an early start, so it's whatever. But the Niners got a 4:15 start for this. It's like pretty big, and they're on extra rest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a play that I like quite a bit. Another play that I like quite a bit that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2 more plays coming, folks. So hit that like button, subscribe, comment below, comment this week. Newbie, you're dumb. All right, Detroit taking on Kansas City, and we're taking the 2 with Detroit. We've said Detroit's going to be on our card until they don't have to be. Right, Berg? Like this is a team who you and I both agree they look like the best team in football. It'll be interesting to see what do the Packers look like coming out of the bye. I think maybe they could stake a claim to being one of the better teams in football. They, of course, handed the Detroit Lions. It was ancient in week 1 that long ago.
6 months to prepare. So
yeah,
sure,
exactly that. So Detroit +2 taking on Kansas City. Why do we like this one, Bergie?
Again, ain't broke, don't fix it. I think this Lions team's the best team in the league, and then I think there's everybody else. Oh, you are not there anymore. So, anyway,
well, my wife just ran through the room. She's getting her hair and makeup done. She looks beautiful for what it's worth. But yeah, she ran through the room, so I was like, maybe I'll just get Berg the ISO shot. So when she runs through again, Berg, you're gonna get another ISO shot. But I am here. I am here for you.
Great. Well, I love this Lions team. Everyone's complaining about this Lions defense. This Lions their defense has been fine. Also, the metrics that say that their metrics will say, oh, this Lions team gives up a high ADOT and they give up a lot of yards. You know why? Because they're usually up by 3 scores and it becomes garbage time for the other team. I still think that the Chiefs are inevitable. Sorry, Chalky. I understand that. I still do think that the Chiefs, I think a fully healthy Chiefs team, while with very thin margins of if somebody is out, they're in trouble, is still going to win that division and come out of there. But the Lions as dogs, I don't care that it's the public side. I'm going to keep doing this until I've been told otherwise. By the way, other thing is that if you really do like the Lions this week, you need to bet Jared Goff for MVP because this is one of those marquee matchups. If he loses, he has less of a case because he will have lost to Patrick Mahomes, who will most certainly be a top 3. If he wins, his odds will absolutely be cut in half. So I think he's 18-1, 20-1 in some places, which is a solid number for a team that is on track to be a 1 or 2 seed and their quarterback. It's recipe every year, but just as a side bet, I would recommend people do that. So yeah, Lions, give it to me. I know that Worthy was banged up too this week again for the Chiefs. The Chiefs defense, I think that they're going to figure it out, but Spags looks really bad. This Chiefs defense looks really bad. So going to go with the Lions. Pretty simple for me. So
they look good in spots, but in stretches, it really hasn't been there the consistency wise, which is kind of atypical for a Spags defense because they're the modicum of consistency year over year. Look, you're getting the better defense, getting points. That's one of the systems that I absolutely love playing. One of the old duct tape shoe kind of ways of betting. Give me the points with the better defense. We're also getting points with the better offense at this point in the season. How about Campbell? We love this guy. I used to be a detractor. I used to be a hater. All of his coordinators left, and you could argue they look better without him. Lions 8-1 against the spread under the ankle biter when they're playing teams coming off a Monday night football game. It makes sense. They play a very physical brand of football, so it's a team who wants to punch you in the mouth, who wants to get physical with you, and that extra day of rest makes a huge difference. Campbell against the AFC West, they don't like it when they have to face the Lions. 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread. Campbell is against this division. We think it continues outright win for Detroit in Kansas City this week, which Berg brings us to our final play, and one might argue our favorite play. If you've been looking on the board, you're saying, holy shit, we're talking Monday Night Football. First Monday Night Football game on the year for the Let's Make Millions crew here, and we are taking the 4.5 with the against the Buffalo Bills, Atlanta plus the spot. Berg, this is my favorite play of the week. I absolutely love this spot for Atlanta because they're coming off a bye. People forget how good this team is. They have outgained opponents by nearly 120 yards per game, and now they have extra rest against the Buffalo team who's coming off of one of their more embarrassing losses in recent memory. Patriots, are they as good as they look? No, I think Buffalo has just kind of gotten that same path that the Eagles have gotten throughout the year, is that this is a team who's a Super Bowl contender, one of the best teams in the league. It really hasn't been dominant for Buffalo. Atlanta on Monday Night Football, spot that they cherish. Atlanta on a 7-3 against the spread run, one when playing under those bright lights of the Monday Night Football spot there. Buffalo struggles against the NFC South, a division that they don't see often. They're on a 1-3-1 against the spread run. And Buffalo, the game after they play a division rival, after they hosted a division rival, again, this stat coming from our man Mark Lawrence, 3-7 against the number. After they play an in-division game at home, and let's not forget, that was their third straight home game, Berg, and now they're going on a road to a tough place to play. Team whose defense is one of the best in the league by any metric you want to look at. Atlanta plus 4.5, and I have one more stat to come over the head after you tell folks why we're betting the money line on this bad boy too.
Sorry, Three Doors Down was playing, and I had to mute some of it.
What are they singing? They do any Hootie and the Blowfish? I only want to be with you. That's going to be the set ender. That's going to be the set ender.
Also, friend of the program, friend of both of us, Sean Green, has my AirPods, and he just texted me.
Oh, great. So now you will get your AirPods back after we're done recording a show.
No, I'm getting new ones. I had new ones delivered to his office.
Nice.
In LA. All right. So, favorite play on the board. Atlanta, by the way, people don't want to give the team any credit. Atlanta's the third best defense in the league, and they're going to be off a bye. And while you and I have talked about it, we don't like Raheem Morris. What I do like is quarterbacks and teams that have a lot of potential and good skill players having extra time to prepare for these types of matchups. This Bills team is only playing their second road game. They were coddled for the first 5 weeks. They had 10-day periods of rest on multiple games. And then with a really good game plan, look what happened with Vrabel, because Vrabel game planned for them perfectly in that game. I suspect that Raheem Morris and that team are going to game plan pretty well for this one. I think the Bijan props. I think Bijan could run for 200 all-purpose yards. I absolutely think that he could tread this team. I like Kyle Pitts. I like stuff in the middle here. I just no ISO shot. Just saw Kayla. So it's just right behind you. But yeah, this is I think this is also another one of those Look
at how good she looks. The hair looks amazing. Makeup looks amazing.
Amazing.
All right, good luck. Good luck.
This is one of those things. Another reason I just like it is like when you have a team that everyone like loves to back, like the Bills, and they're playing on primetime, the gambling alarm should be going off on people that they're not favored by more than 4.5. What a weird number. So leaning into the weird, leaning into Michael Penix, but really leaning into Bijan Robinson. Falcons money line live, in my opinion, and plus 4.5. At home too, but Atlanta on a Monday night on primetime, that's gonna be rocking.
Like I said, 7-3 run against the spread on Monday Night Football, and that's home and away. The piece to resistance that I had for you, and maybe with the wife popping behind me there, maybe that's the luck that we needed for the 5-0 week, because it could be the one that pushes us over.
Kayla's nickname actually is Falcons plus 4.5. So
that's my pet name for her. Yeah, it's called Moneyline Sprinkle, but Falcons 4.5. It's a very endearing nickname for Kayla there. The piece to resistance for me, we mentioned Buffalo 3 straight home games. You're sleeping in your own bed. You're at home. You're comfortable. One of those games, you're coming off a loss in that third straight home game. So maybe they got a little bit too comfortable. How about NFL non-divisional road favorite coming off 3 consecutive home games? So if you think about this conceptually, familiarity, being at home, going into unfamiliarity, non-divisional, laying points on the road. That stat here, Berg, 4-20 against the spread. 4-20. So if you just blindly bet dogs fading a team who stayed home 3 times and is now a favorite on the road against a non-divisional opponent, you cash 20 of your 24 bets. We're looking to make it 21 because we are taking the 4.5 points here with the Bills. Strange line indeed. But Berg, let us look at our picks for this week. But first, we forgot to recap at the top. We went 3-2 last week. We're now 14-11, and we're on a nice 11-4 run. So you don't have to think about how bad we were before this run started. New York Jets, obviously the loser there. Seattle, the loser, but we cashed another outright dog. But our picks for this week, folks, the recap: Seattle, pick 'em at Jacksonville. Carolina getting the 3 at home against Dallas. We're taking 3 with San Francisco. They're on the road at Tampa Bay. Detroit plus the spot. Also love Detroit in the teaser. Taking them up to 8 points is a no-brainer at Kansas City. And then we are taking the 4.5 at home versus the Buffalo Bills. I think this is the first time we have had all underdogs on the card. If you can count Seattle, you can actually shop around. You can lay a point with Seattle. You can get a point with Seattle. But the contest line, a pick 'em, which Berg does it. Holy shit. We were under a half an hour for the first time ever. So shout out. Man. Shout out to our man Chrisov, and go enjoy that concert, Berg. Berg and I will both be back in studio next week. I will make sure that I don't give out incorrect stats that Berg has to then correct me on. But folks, if you like the content, simple. All you do, comment below. Let us know if you like it, if you hate it. While you're down there, hit that like button, and you haven't already, join us. Hit that subscribe button. We are just around the corner from 225,000 subscribers. When I started with Wager Talk, we had 20,000 subscribers. We added 200 plus thousand. Can't be wrong, folks. Join us, subscribe. Best of luck with all of your action. Berg, enjoy the rest of your Vegas trip, and we will see you next week here. Let's make millions. Good luck, everybody.